live.
In a world crying out for a Schmoedown Top 10 show, it's Schmoedown Countdown with your host, the Young Bucks. Take it
Caleb,
away.
thank you very much for that, my friend. We're here late on a Sunday night. So, we messed up a couple times. It's late, but we're here. Third episode. We've made it to 3 for the Schmoedown Countdown. Each week, we break down a top 10 topic from the Schmoedown. Could be anything. This week, we're doing our top 10 upsets. And typically how we do the show, I give my 10 through 6. Caleb will give him his 10 through 6. 5 and 4 from me. Caleb's 5 and 4. My 3 and 2. Caleb's 3 and 2. Then we trade our ones. At the end of that, after we revealed our top 10 list, we combine. We make a final, decisive top 10 list. And we share it with you guys.
Yeah.
And this was tough.
Yeah, this was. I mean, this is a great topic. I like this topic.
Yeah, and so last time I believe you gave your 10 through 6, right? Is that how?
Yeah.
So
last time you went first. This time I went first.
This time you go first. Yep.
I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong. If not, we'll correct.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
We'll start with your 10 through 6.
All right, let me get my list up quick. I messed up on the intro a little bit.
Hey, like I said, we're here late on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Sometimes things happen.
Sorry, my phone is being a little bit. Why don't we do your 10 through 6 first?
Yeah. Okay, so we'll so just to start off, like I said, this is really tough. I went through this. I had a list of 20, and I had to break that down. And so my number 10 is a bit of a cheat, and this probably won't make the final list. But my number 10 is Breanne Chandler at the free for all. That was a bit of a cheat. Yeah, I
don't have it on my list, but I think it counts.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I had it as my 10, because it wasn't a one-on-one match, or it was a free-for-all type match. But Breanne Chandler, this is the definition of an upset, really, right? Because she came out of nowhere. I didn't even think she was going to be in the match, personally.
She hadn't played since like since
the tournament. Yeah, since getting knocked out in the second round of the singles tournament, she hadn't played since then, right? And a lot of things were up in the air for her. And she comes in late, but she had a great performance. I think she put up a couple fives, a couple fours, and disregard what happens, in the title match against the Shire Wolves. But she comes on and knocks out Bibiani, knocks out Irwin. Bibiani's now the singles champion, right?
Yeah.
This was for sure, I think, 100% an upset.
Oh yeah, I agree. I don't think like you said, nobody even really expected her to show up. I mean, she might have done like the interview before the free for all, but nobody expected her. She's there and she wins the whole thing. That's a great.
I don't think she expected it, to be honest. Unfortunately, the Shire Wolves match happened, and her team didn't perform to the best of their abilities. But
had she been paired up with somebody like a Drew McWeeny,
I know that's what I was hoping for, but
yeah.
That's another topic for another day. Getting into my number 9, and I'm already looking at my list and going, is this where I want this? And it is a championship match, Dangerous Dan Murrell versus the commissioner at the time, Christian Harloff. So I don't know if this was on your list or not.
I don't know that should be on my list. I don't know.
This is tough.
Why that.
This is what I mean. This is a tough topic because Dan Murrell and Christian Harloff, this is a match that, coming in, I think most people went, okay, Dan Murrell's going to retain. He'll hold that belt to Spectacular. We'll see who wins the tournament, right? And Harloff will probably lose this match, go back to just running the league. And it threw a curveball in the plans, and still to this day, the plans for the movie Trivia Schmoedown, because Christian Harloff comes out of nowhere. And this is also a surprising match because I think this is kind of one of the first times we saw maybe a chink in the armor of Dan Murrell. Not his best performance. Christian Harloff was able to capitalize on that with that. Remember that 5-point question?
Yeah.
This has got a big reaction out of me because I remember when he gets asked his 5-point question, Harloff, straight face, goes, and I go, he doesn't know it. But really he was scoffing because he did know it, which was, I thought, added an extra wrinkle to the upset.
frankly, I should have put that on my list, and I think it's going to make our final list.
Yeah, I think this is gonna happen. There, you're gonna
Yeah.
probably say something that I'm gonna go, how was that not on my list? But that's I think when you go back, you look. There's so many upsets in this league, even though we're only about I think it's 240, 250 matches we've had around there.
Yeah.
There's a ton of upsets to choose from. Just like my number 8 transitioning, this probably is a punt, but I have my reasons at number 8. Oh, sorry, John the Outlaw Roca versus the movie Mance, Scott Mance. This is
Which
my
one?
number 8.
Your
My
first
number
one?
one, the first one, the one that Scott Mance won.
That wasn't on my list, and I've got a good reason, but you give why it's on your list first.
Yeah, so this is tough because at the time, maybe it didn't look like much of an upset, right? At the
Yeah.
time, it just kind of looked like Scott Mance getting. I think Johnny Roca was definitely the favorite coming in. I remember. This is kind of around when I started watching, and John Roca was definitely the favorite. But I think that it wasn't as much of an upset as it is now. And when I went back and I thought, this is why it's not in the top 5. Not it's not one of my higher ups, but I thought it needs to be included because it is pretty shocking when Scott Mance pulls out that win and in the fashion he does. Because of course, this is the famous best spin answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the best spin, which is a great moment on itself and very shocking. And when I think of shocking, I think of upsets.
Yeah. Like you said, the only reason this isn't on my list is because at the time we didn't know who John the Outlaw Roca was. Like we had seen him in team matches and on the top 10 show, but we didn't know that he would be the outlaw. Like he was the outlaw,
Yeah,
but he wasn't the outlaw yet. But
that's a great point because.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say is that this is why it's tough because some things are an upset when it happens, and then
Yeah.
over time you go, that's not much of an upset. For
Yeah.
example, if you look at most of Sam Levine's matches leading up to his title win, you would go,
Yeah.
those are upsets. But looking back, you're going, no, they're not really upsets, right? So that's why it's tough to find that balance. So I thought that number 8 would be a good spot for it on my list.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have different philosophies that we would make in our list, which is make this a great episode.
And that's what the show's all about, right? So
yeah.
Going into my number 7, which I think this is going to be on your list. It is from the Ultimate Schmoedown tournament last year, the singles division. Mark Ellis, when he got knocked out in the first round by sassy Stacey Howard.
That is, let me see if that's
a punt.
That's my number 6. We can talk about it.
Perfect. So
what was it yours?
It was my number 7. So I'm gonna let you kick. I'm gonna let you kick it off.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is one where Stacey Howard was still kind of considered the second banana to bring in.
Yep.
That's who Stacey Howard was back in late 2017. That's who she was. Now, she's a lot more popular, but at the time, she was just banana to bring in. Mark Ellis, let's not forget, Mark Ellis won the Ultimate Schmoedown the year
twice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he won twice. Wait, yeah, that is right. Yeah, so he's won. Was a former team champ. So this was at the time
he was
a huge upset.
Yeah, and he was making a big return. He was the person he's kind of the first person that took Dan Merle to his limits, right?
Yeah.
He was the first person to do that. He was also, and I looked at this stat, and I'm pretty sure it's right. He was 8-0 in tournament matches, or sorry, no, it was 9-1 or something like that. 9-1 coming into that. Coming into that match, which is crazy. And Stacey Howard, I didn't see it coming. I know most people didn't see it coming. That's why I think it's not going to be a top 5 just because Ellis he's not really considered, in the echelons of a Merle and a Roca, which is kind of why it's not going to be in that top 3. But this definitely deserves a spot on this list, and it will be on the final list.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
So that was your number 6. My number 6, this is going to be a punt. And I'm ready. I'm ready for the backlash. The Outlaw, John Roca, defeating Dangerous Dan Merle.
I got to be honest with you, man. This isn't on my list.
Yep, and that's fair.
I didn't think it was an upset. Maybe I have future goggles on right now, but I don't think it's that much of an upset.
No, and here's why I put this on my list. And it's the same reason that you didn't put Roca and Mance on your list, maybe, kind of. It's because at the time, this was a huge upset. When I was watching this back in early 2017, this was a massive upset, and that feeling still hasn't really left. And if they had a match again, if they meet in the tournament and Roca wins, it doesn't that match doesn't make my list, but this one does just because of the time, the moment. Dan Murrell looked unstoppable, so it didn't really matter who he faced in that match. I thought it would have been an upset just because of who he was at that time. Dan Murrell was unstoppable, and John Roca did stop him. And I totally get why you didn't have it on your list, and that's why. See, it was interesting. I'm like, either this is really high or it's not on there at all, and that's kind of why it was my number 6, still high up on my list, but it's not in the top.
Yeah, and I don't really remember going to the match thinking John Roca doesn't have a chance. I remember thinking like, yeah, Dan Murrell's gonna take this, but I didn't think like it was possible he was gonna get like TKO'd like somebody else who is playing Dan Murrell, who we'll talk about on the list that now I'm sad. So yeah, it's my number 10 now, right?
Yeah, it's your number 10.
I got one that this might be really high, and this is my number 10. This is Team Action beating Top 10.
Oh my god. That's not on my list. Oh my god.
It was just my number 10.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. Yeah, you talk about it, then I'll jump in a second.
The reason this is at number 10 is for me, like, because this is an upset, but it would have been higher had they not beaten Team Trek, just before, because they beat Team Trek. They pretty much just destroyed the tournament up to above the line. So, like, it was an upset because, it's crazy that Team Action would ever beat Top 10, but it wasn't as shocking as some of the other ones to me on this list.
See, this was in my honorable mentions, and now just think about it probably should have made my list, but and I don't want to be that guy, but sometimes, if you go back and watch the match, the way they beat Top 10, I'm not gonna say there's easy questions, but there were some things that were kind of stood out more to me than the fact that it was an upset. You know what I mean? And I think that's
I get what you mean. Yeah.
Ben's 3-pointer. Do you remember it was the who played what was the villain in Spider-Man?
Yeah.
It was like, really? Like, is that 3? But I don't like to get into the semantics of all that. But
unless
right.
is the one asking the questions, then it's okay to get into the semantics.
This is true. Unless the challenge is laid down. But yeah, that's a good pick for your number 10. So for your number 9.
All right, my number 9, knowing you, I think this is going to be high up on the list.
Oh, boy.
This is Sam Levine beating John Roca.
It wasn't on my list.
Okay.
And I thought about it. I thought about it.
It's because of, like, the thing where now Sam Levine is so great that it's not an upset now.
Yeah.
That's fair. But at the time, I think this was a huge upset. Sam Levine was the second best rookie of 2016. That's kind of what he was at.
He was 4-4 this time as well. That was his record.
Yeah, he was like came out strong, and then it was just kind of okay, never mind. We thought, and then he just comes through. He beats Bibiani, which him beating Bibiani almost made my list.
Might as well.
Yeah, him beating Bibiani. He beats Rachel Cushing, which at the time wasn't an upset, but now that's anybody beating Rachel Cushing. It's crazy.
And he's done it twice.
Yeah, he's done it twice. I mean, Sam Levine. I'm not sure I would give him the spot as the greatest player of all time, but he definitely deserves to be in that conversation between Murrell and Levine.
And that's the only reason no Sam Levine matches made it on, because I'm one of those people that's in that group that thinks that Sam Levine is the greatest of all time. So I was thinking, what match do I want to put in there? But I'm going, if he's the greatest of all time, which I believe he is, technically his matches shouldn't, by that by that way of looking at it, it shouldn't be on. Because I was like, is it the Bibiani match? But I'm going, no, because Bibiani was struggling, and then you're going, was it the Broken match? And I was like, well, he did beat Bibiani, so there's just a few things where I'm like, you know what? I kind of put my foot down and went, I can't have any Levine matches. Maybe when we do our top 10 Sam Levine matches, that can be on there. But
we should do that.
I think you could actually, We'll talk about it later, but yeah.
But Sam, I put that restriction on the list. And also that was supposed to be my number 8, I realized. Not my number 9. That's my bad.
So
but you know what? Actually, I like this better as number 8. So I'm switching. This is my number 8.
Yeah.
Josh Makuga.
This can be a pun.
Well, I don't know, because I have 2 Makugas on my list. Beating Mark Andreyko.
And that is a punt.
What?
Yeah, that's a punt.
Okay. Then you might not have the other Josh Makuga then. We don't know.
We'll see.
Okay.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is Mark Ellis beating Josh Makuga.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Wow.
This is my weirdest pick.
Yeah, it is very.
No, sorry. I realized. Wait, was it Josh Makuga or John Roca that I had on here? I think it was.
I think you're referring to when Mark Ellis beat John Roca.
Yeah. I think that is what it was supposed to be. You know what? I was thinking of Josh Makuga
because I considered that for my list as well. But yeah, I think that's probably what it is.
Yeah. It is Mark Ellis beating John Roca. I'm sorry. I am horrible.
It's late. Yeah. It is late.
Yeah. Okay, so Mark Ellis beat John Roca. That's John Roca. He was coming up. We thought he was going to make a comeback after Best Friend. I don't remember. Was this after or before the Scott Mance thing?
This was after. This was in the Ultimate Schmoedown tournament. This one. Okay. This is the finals, actually.
Yeah. But, I mean, is this after or before Scott Mance 2?
Oh.
I think it was after.
I think it was just after, because I think
this was after Scott Mance 2. So he was on a roll. Yes. We thought he was going to come back, and then Mark Ellis just cements his status, and that's why he is on number 6. CC Howard beating Mark Ellis is my number 6.
Okay,
that's why that is like that.
Yeah, and that to talk about John Roca was on a roll then, because I believe he had just also beaten Mark Yodi Riley around that time as well. And so that's definitely something that crossed my mind. And there's something that could come up with any list, and that's recency bias is something that could come up a lot, right? Because these matches are kind of out of our head a little bit, that maybe they slip through a little bit, and but no, that definitely deserves a place on your list. And, so we know you're number 6 already, right? That was Stacey Howard. So we're going to get to my number 5, which is a punt from earlier, and it's Josh Makuga versus Finn Draco. Now, this is a fantastic match, and I don't think this match gets enough credit, personally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is a great match.
Because the story, the drama, even if you're somebody that doesn't like the wrestling or like the storyline part of the Schmoedown, this is something that I think can transcend that, just because of like the fake out, the drama, everything in there. And then, the moment Finstock comes out there and it's Andreyko, I'm going, it's over. It's over. Makuga's gonna, Makuga accepts the match. I'm yelling, don't do it, don't do it. Like, do you know how good this guy is? This is the guy that almost beat Bibiani. This is like, he's in the Horseman now, the Horseman, the Lion's Den. Yeah, the Lion's Den. So you have no chance, right? And when he pulls out that win, he does his little Makuga dance. It's fantastic.
Yeah. The only reason this isn't higher is because you hear Makuga versus Finstock. That's the title of the match, and you think, of course, Makuga's going to take it. So that's the only reason. This would have been higher, and I think it will be higher on our final list.
Maybe, yeah.
For that reason. I mean, it's super impressive. Makuga was able to pull that off. Makuga, before Andrew Guy, Makuga was the king of the upsets.
Yeah, Makuga. And I think you could looking at my list, you can kind of chop it down to like 3 players that are kind of consistently on this list, but we'll talk about that later. But so this is interesting because another thing with Makuga and Findraco is that the reason it's not a little higher for me is that Andraco didn't have the best record at this time. We knew the skill was there, of course, and the skill's always been there, but his record didn't really show a high caliber, right? And that's one of the only reasons why it's not in my top 3.
And one thing I want to say about this match, is that this was back when the Schmoedown show was still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they were hyping this up so much on the Schmoedown show. And
oh my god!
Because that's where Finstock started. This early 2016 Schmoedown was still very tied to the Schmoedown show.
Yeah,
and I was super into the Schmoedown show, and it just felt so awesome to see that happen.
Yeah, it was. I miss those days.
So Collider Live is great, though.
Collider Live's fantastic. I love it. Yeah. I've been able to catch up. So go check out Collider Live if you don't do it. There's a free plug, as if they need it from us, right? Yeah. So my number 4.
Yeah, 4
is a match that you weren't sure I was going to have or not. I have it. It is Josh Makuga versus Clark Wolf 1.
Okay, that is my. I think that's also my. That's my 5. So we can talk about it.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So my 5 and my 4 are controlled by Josh Makuga here. So Makuga versus Clark Wolf. At this point, Clark Wolf was, she was the rookie of the year. She was kind of the hottest thing in the Schmoedown. She was at what we thought at the time, and what she has become to eventually be is she was kind of the heir to the throne. What it kind of felt like, right?
Yeah.
And Josh Makuga, I came in, I was going, this is gonna be a fun match. This will be fun, right? Makuga is fun. Yeah. Clark Wolf's got the brains, and what I got was surprised. My jaw was on the floor. I did not see this one coming at all.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching this, and there were moments. Maybe this isn't that episode, or that match, but I'm pretty sure Makuga couldn't remember what the quote "the list is life" is from, and then he says
Schindler's List,
and he's just dancing around. And Makuga is one of the most entertaining players in the entire Schmoedown. He's great. And, Clark Wolf, knowing what we know now and what we knew then, she is a champ. She's, maybe not now she's a champ in the literal sense, but just in the metaphorical sense, she's a champ. Mm-hmm. She's just one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
100%.
Yeah. So my number 5 now, right? Or my number 4 now?
Yes, number 4.
Okay. Yeah. My number 4 is one might be a little higher. Late to the Party, beating Critically Acclaimed.
Yeah, it's a pun.
Okay.
It's a little pun.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. So my number 3. Okay, I feel like this could be your number 2. Is what I'm feeling. Andrew Guy defeating Mark Yodi Riley.
I gotta tell you.
Oh no.
This isn't on my list, Cam.
You're killing me.
Let me tell you why.
Yeah. I figured this was going to happen. Okay.
It's simply because, Mark Riley wasn't that great at the free-for-all, and Andrew Guy just beat Dan Murrow. Those two things.
Okay.
Why it's on my honorable mentions. It is on my honorable mentions, but I couldn't make it on my list for those 2 factors because I was unsure who was going to win. I wasn't thinking Guy was going to win, but I also wasn't thinking Riley was going to win. So it wasn't an upset in either sense for me.
And that's fair, and I respect your opinion. The only reason, when you look at an upset really is there a heavy favorite coming in? And in your opinion, there wasn't a heavy favorite, and that's totally fair. But if you just look at the records alone, 9-4 for Mark Riley, 1-0 for Andrew Guy. I know that we kind of discussed, this might have been off air, was the free-for-all, right, with the performance. To be fair, Mark Riley did not have a good performance. but neither did Andrew Guy. So that's kind of I kind of didn't really I don't like to look at too much into the free for all when it comes to singles performances,
Yeah.
unless you have a ton to base it off of, like Bibiani, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot to base off of because of how many questions he answered. So I don't like to look at the free for all too much. And Andrew Guy had just beaten Dan Murrell, but I was like, I didn't think it was a fluke, and I think it's silly to say it's a fluke, but it is also just one match, and that's why it's not like Andrew Guy's coming in this 3-0. He was coming in 1-0. He could have just had the day of his life. You don't know. I didn't know, and that's why I think that Mark Riley is a two-time champ. And I think anytime a two-time champ, someone who has 9 wins, is defeated, it should be considered an upset, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it'll make our list, definitely. But I couldn't put it on my list.
That's
All right,
fair.
so now it's your number 2?
My number 2 is a small pump from earlier, and that is Late to the Party versus Critically Acclaimed.
Yeah, this is my 3. So you talk about
so this is a crazy match, and this might be, well, yeah, it is the second most shocked I was for a match. Critically Acclaimed. Everyone was picking them to win their team bracket. Everyone was going, this is the team, this is the team. And Late to the Party's coming in. I'm going, yeah, this is nice. Get the fans in for one round. Get to see them a little bit. They can fly in, spend a night, go back to Arizona.
it.
And then they win. And I'm like, oh, my God. And it's in the tournament setting, which made it even more shocking because it made you feel like anything can happen. It made you feel like anyone can win at any given day. And no matter who you are, no matter what your record was before, you never know when it comes to a Schmoedown. And this was such a big match for the fans, first of all.
Yeah.
And it was also huge for the team division. And, it kind of kept, we ended up getting that Wolves of Steel Late to the Party match, which, didn't go exactly their way, but that you can't take anything away from what they did against Critically Acclaimed.
To be fair, this is an amazing match from both competitors. Like, they're both playing their hearts out, and probably against lesser competitors with this questions, they would not lose. These are great performances from both teams. The only reason this was my number 4. The only reason this isn't a teensy bit higher is simply because Critically Acclaimed hadn't played a game yet. They had not yet.
Oh, they were 1-0 at this point.
That's right. They played only
deep
stupid
cuts.
Deep.
You're right. You're right. Only stupid answers. Yeah.
Yeah, they had played them, but that's only stupid answers.
Yeah.
So yeah, my number 3 now.
Yeah, what's your number 3?
Okay, this either has to be. No, this isn't. My 3 and 2 aren't on your list then.
Oh my God, what have I missed?
I don't. Well, you missed Brianne Chandler beating Clark Wolf.
You're right. Oh my God, I have.
Yeah,
I completely missed that.
Yeah,
right. That definitely would have made my list.
We'll figure out where it would have been.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where it would have been. But...
So yeah, I mean, you've got Brianne Chandler, who has an okay track record at this time in singles, and Clark Wolf, who she had won Rookie of the Year. She was coming in, on fire. A lot of people had her winning the tournament, know, and this was a first round matchup, and Brianne destroyed her.
Yeah, and you're totally right. I completely missed this. This would have made my list. And maybe this might not be fair to say, but Clark Wolf did not play a great match in this one. She didn't play a great match.
Well enough, but I feel like that's right.
Yeah, I'm like not to take anything away from best movies. And this should stick out in my mind more, and that's totally on me. But I think that's one reason. Honestly, we could just take off my number 10, which was Chandler in the free for all, and replace it with this one. Either one for me would make my list. But yeah, that was 100% on me. And this was like I said, once again, in the tournament setting, which makes it a little more shocking.
Yeah. Okay.
What did I miss next? Oh my gosh.
Well, you missed. Yeah, this one is crazy. How you missed this one? or actually, it makes a little bit more sense, but I don't know. JTE beating Bibiani.
Oh my god.
Yeah. How could
Stress.
you?
How could I?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, let me talk about where you figure out where that one's going to be on your
Yeah, you
list.
go. You go. I can't believe this.
Yeah. So JTE at this point in time, JT was a joke. He was nothing.
No,
He
you're
hadn't
right. Oh
won.
my god.
He hadn't won in like a year. He had not won. Maybe that's wrong, but he hadn't won in a long time.
A singles
He
match.
was a
Yeah.
joke. He had the 30 for 30 made about him. He was a loser. And he comes out
God.
and Bibiani, who is the hottest thing at this point, he's the next. People are saying he's going to be the next champion. They were
Yeah.
right a little early, but they were
A
wrong.
little. Yeah.
They're saying he's Bibiani, and JTE obliterates him.
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen? And then he
That
has a great comeback tour where he beats Drew McWeeny, which was almost on my list, but I
that
couldn't.
almost made my list too, but I didn't.
Yeah.
That is, and it's funny that for some reason, JTE just escaped my mind when it came to this list, and that's 100% me. I'm not going to take anything out just because I've already set on my list, but this will definitely make it high up on the list, and I can't believe I did this. So we have the same number one, of course.
Our number one is when Alex Damon beat Bruce Greenwood.
Yeah, we have the same number one.
Yeah. I mean, who would have thought that a player who had never played before would lose? Did anyone think that?
I didn't.
But seriously, our number one is Andrew Guy beating
Dangerous Dan Murrell. I mean, there's no chance in hell. I don't care what day it is. I don't care what I've had. There's no way I was forgetting this match, because this match will never escape my mind.
This is my favorite reaction I've ever done. When I did the reaction to this one,
I watched your reaction. Yeah.
Like, what? No. It was like I was in distress after this. I'm surprised nobody called the check up on me.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because one thing I love about Andrew Guy and Ben Bateman, and I know you're not a wrestling fan, right? But
I've seen 5 seconds of wrestling.
Something that's in wrestling that I like about wrestling that sometimes I wish happened in the show a little more was that the heels, no matter who they are, no matter who they're facing, they always need to have the same confidence. Because if a heel doesn't have confidence, they're nothing, right? So sometimes in the Schmoedown, you'll see this heel. I happen sometimes to Snyder that he'll talk a big game, then he'll lose, and he'll kind of slip out of that persona because the real life is coming out, right?
Yeah.
Andrew Guy never once looked like he was intimidated, looked like he was scared, looked like he was going to lose to Dan Murrell. Even though he probably thought the whole time, he stayed true to his character. He stayed true to not the script. He stayed true to the story. And that's what made this such an amazing moment, and it made it such an amazing upset.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to talk about why this is an upset. That's how much of an upset it is. Andrew Guy is like, I'm not sure. It's right now, and I know if Haven's listening, he's going to disagree with it. It's between Andrew Guy and Mike Kalinowski for the greatest heel of all time. Like, those two are some of the greatest heels.
Are you talking about Haven's beef with Mike Kalinowski? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. But Andrew Guy is amazing. Like how he can talk on the mic. He's the greatest. He might be the greatest entertainer in the Schmoedown. From pure entertainment, he might be the best. So yeah. Do we want to combine our list? Do you have anything more to say?
I mean, the moment where there's so many moments in this match too.
Yeah.
Not even just when he wins, but my favorite moment, and it will always be, is when Dan Murrell missed the Devil Wears Prada question. It was what color, and
you didn't miss that. Andrew Guy was asked.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, sorry. My bad.
Because the category was comedies.
Comedies, yeah, you're right. And he goes, It's not blue. It's cerulean, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It cracks me up every time, and I've gone back and watched that part so many times. Him jumping on the table, giving everybody the finger. So many. So
Well,
great.
here's the kicker of it. Dan Murrell did not play a horrible game.
No, he got 7 points. Wait, 6 points? 6 points, right, in the first
Yeah,
round?
6 points in round one. He got opponent's choice. He did. Like he
Yep.
didn't play a bad game.
No, he got his 2 and 3 pointer in the third
Andrew
round.
Guy just played a great game. That's what happened.
And even the fact that Andrew Guy knew Dan Murrell's 5 pointer, even kind of, he put the dagger was already in the back, and he just twisting it around a little bit.
Yeah.
So I can't believe, and what I knew I was gonna miss something. I knew I was gonna do it, and I swear I looked through the matches. So when I do my list, I go through all the matches and I look through them and I, kind of piece them together, and how I missed
Yeah.
JTE Bibian. Chandler Wolf, probably wouldn't have been on my list, but it wouldn't have been that high up. But
Yeah.
I don't know how I did this. So let's combine these lists.
So you keep track, and I'll say the numbers.
Okay. So number one, of course, is going to be Bruce Green and Alex Damon, as we talked about already.
Yep.
So
Andrew Guy.
Yeah, Guy
Okay,
and Merle.
what is your number two?
So my number two is what it really would be. My number three is critically acclaimed and late to the party. But here's what I want to do. As I drop my phone, I want to make JT Bibiani my number two, because that would have been my number. I'm not just saying that because it was your number two. It would have been my number two had I had half a brain today.
Okay, so we put those 1 and 2, and I think it's fair to put late to the party critically acclaimed at 3.
Yeah. So Bibiani JT is going to go at 2. 3 is going to be late to the party versus critically acclaimed. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What is your next highest one?
So my number 3, as I finish right now, my number 3 would be Riley versus Guy. But since it's on your list, we're gonna hold off on that one. And I think where do you have Makuga and Wolf?
I've got that at number 5, and I'm good with that next.
Yeah, because that's my 4. So
okay, well, I'm good with that at 4.
Okay, and then what's your number? What's your 4? Sorry.
Well, my number 4 is late to the party, critically acclaimed.
Oh, right.
My number 3 is Chandler Clark Wolf.
Okay. So that would have been my list. So that makes sense to go at 5. If we do that at 5, can we go Riley Guy at 6?
Yeah.
Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. So Chandler Wolf's gonna go at 5. Actually, how about at 6 because where did you have Finn Draco and Makuga?
I've got that at 8.
At 8? That's my 5. So would you rather have Makuga and Finn Draco at 6 or Riley and Guy?
I'd rather have Makuga Finn Draco.
Yep. Okay. And then
because the only reason that was lower is because we thought it was going to be
Finn stock. Right. So then 7's going to be Guy and Riley there.
Yeah.
Guy.
Okay, let me look at what my next highest.
Guy and Yodi. Okay.
My next highest is
I think this is
Howard beating Mark Ellis.
So that's not on my list, but I do have Howard and Ellis at 7, and that's year 6, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I just said. It's J.C. Howard.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want that to be 8?
Yeah.
Okay. This is where it's going to get interesting, though.
I'm good with my 8 or with my 9 and 10 not being on the list.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of there too. I'm there as well. So I have one that my number 6 wasn't on your list, and I believe your 7 wasn't on mine, right?
Oh yeah, we got I don't remember what, my 7 was Mark Ellis. Oh, my 7 was Mark Ellis beating John Roca. So I'd like that. How about that?
My 6 is Roca and Merle, but so these are kind of the last 2.
Okay.
Where did you have Ellis and
Howard
and Roca?
or Ellis?
Where did you have that?
I had that at 8, I think. Or no, 7.
That's 7. Okay, I had Roca Merle at 6. I've also got Roca and Mance and Harloff and Merle.
I'll be honest. I'd rather have Roca Mance than Roca Merle.
Okay. So you're cool. Are you cool with Roca and Merle or Roca and Mance at 9? If we go,
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And then honestly, I don't even need Ellis. Or yeah, let's do Ellis Roca 10.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. This is we're good with compromise. We're a team here, right? So we can't have too much putting this list together. You know, it's all in good fun.
We made a good list. All right.
This is a damn good list.
Yeah. Okay. So I say the numbers, you say the list.
That is how we're gonna go. So you're doing the banging, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the top 10 best upsets of the top 10 show of the Schmoedown. I mean, yeah. So upsets of the Schmoedown of the top 10 show. But yeah, of the Schmoedown. Number 10,
Mark Ellis and John Roca.
It's number 9,
The Outlaw John Roca and Scott Movie Man. It's Mance.
Moving to the States. Hey, what's up? It's number 8.
It's Mark Ellis and Stacey Howard.
Number 7,
Mark Yodi Riley versus Dastardly Drew Guy.
Number 6,
Josh the Wild Man Makuga versus Finstock. Don't call me Andraco.
Number 5,
Breanne Chandler and Classy Clark Wolf.
I am number 4.
Clark Wolf once again and the Wild Man, Josh Makuga.
3,
Critically acclaimed defeat. Late to the party, defeating critically acclaimed.
Number 2,
JTE Little Evil defeating William the Beast Bibiani.
And the number 1 upset of the Schmoedown.
Dastardly Andrew Guy defeats Dangerous Dan Merle.
Woo! Play us out.
Yeah, that is a list.
Yeah.
And what I love about the show, and you know, this happens along the actual top 10 show, and it's gonna happen again with us. Is that we're gonna forget things. There's a lot of Schmoedown matches, and we can't rewatch these matches every week just to, you know, I rewatch a few things, but we're gonna make some mistakes. There's gonna definitely be some omissions, but as long as the other person's got one, that's all that matters. And I don't think we missed an upset here. There's so many that we left off. There's so many that I think could have been on this list, and that just speaks to how many upsets there have been in the Schmoedown, and I'm really happy with this list.
All right, so why don't we tell us where they can find us?
Well, you know, nobody cares where they can find me, but you can, of course, support Jack of All Trivia where you're watching this right now. Support us because we've got a match coming up. Tell them about that, Caleb.
Yeah, so we have a team match this Thursday. Against we're the Young Bucks against Chris Day and Richard Schwartz, the man from Uncle. And I'm giving the award for beating Chris Day in 3 leagues.
It's going to be glorious.
That is what's going to happen. I've beaten him in singles. I've beaten him in team or in Inner Geekdom. I'm going to beat him in teams. That is what's going to happen. Yeah. He has never been able to defeat me.
He won't.
He won't. And Richard Schwartz is an upstanding dude. He's great. He's gonna. He backed the wrong horse. It's his fault for deciding to go with Day.
I'm sure he's a great guy, and I'm sure he's gonna handle the loss with class.
Yeah.
With elegance. But you know, that's safe. We're gonna save a little trash talk for Thursday. And as we talked about, I have to do the trash talk this time.
Yes.
So this is our top 10 upsets. Of course, like I said, Caleb won't tell them where the good people can find you.
Yeah. You can find me on YouTube at Caleb Boatman. You can find me now on Saturdays. We didn't do one last Saturday or yesterday, but on Saturdays you can find me on Schmoedown All Access. hosted by the great Christopher Michael Woodburn. Keep watching that show. It's a great Schmoedown after show. It's kind of like our big brother of this show, basically.
Yes.
You know, we're the little brother making
We're the little brother.
Sunday night at 10.
Yeah, they think we stay up later, and they're like, "Oh, that's cute. Look what they're doing down there."
Yeah,
they mispronounce words and they forget things.
Yeah. But yeah, we're the little brother, and you can find me doing trivia matches. You can find me doing things on Jack of All Trivia. Subscribe to Jack of All Trivia. If you don't, do it. I don't care. Just do it. So yeah. All right.
For Caleb Bowman, for our producer Haven Pendergast, we're on Jack of All Trivia. This has been the Schmoedown Countdown. Peace out, and we'll see you.